Brianna Turner has arrived in Indiana, and you know how the Indiana Fever like to do it when they are welcoming in their new players. They roll out the red carpet for them. They give us some content, help us to get to know the players a little bit more. And so firstly, before we even get into our interviews, I want to go over the video that they just dropped on their Twitter page. And it's actually a workout video with Brianna Turner and Caitlin Clark. Now
that's to get Clark freed. That's to get herself freed. There's a 3. There's going on the move again. Same thing on the move again. That seems to be a point of emphasis. I mean, they're not going to give away too much here. Clark going to the left. Not all the way comfortable with it yet, but that's an important thing for her to work on.
Caitlin Clark just made a power move, and Angel Reese won't be happy about this. The Indiana Fever's newest signed superstar, Brianna Turner, is already grinding with Caitlin Clark, getting ready to dominate next season. And let's just say, the league is not ready for what's coming.
I know Fever fans are thirsty for any footage, but good news. The scheduling conflict is back in the lab. Caitlin Clark back captured by Indiana Fever cameras, and this time with another new teammate, Brianna Turner.
And just like that, Caitlin Clark is back at it again, doing what she does best, putting in the work. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the WNBA universe, certain individuals are busy, well, being mad about it. Because, of course, why get better when you can just be bitter?
I love covering basketball players in the gym getting the workout on. And I just saw that the Indiana Fever released footage of none other than Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner in the gym working out with Keith Porter and the other coaches.
Here's Brianna Turner, a defensive juggernaut, a shot-blocking menace, and now Caitlin Clark's personal crash course in how to humiliate defenders in the paint. The reaction? Pure chaos. Because if people couldn't handle Caitlin Clark running the show before, imagine their horror now that she has an elite defensive anchor backing her up. Rim protection? Locked. Fast breaks? Deadly. And the haters absolutely losing their minds. Some are already scrambling for excuses, while others are bracing for impact. One thing's certain, Caitlin Clark and Brianna Turner are about to turn the league upside down, and there's nothing anyone can do.
So, lads, it's looking like the Indiana Fever have signed a perfect player to have beside Caitlin Clark.
While some are busy crafting their next victim complex storyline, Clark is out here training like the next season depends on it. Because, well, it kinda does. Brianna Turner isn't just your run-of-the-mill shot blocker. She's the type of player who makes elite scorers rethink their entire career choices mid-layup. So now, imagine Caitlin, already the most lethal shooter in the game, pairing up with a defensive powerhouse like Turner. Yeah, terrifying.
You guys, there is so much to talk about today, so let's jump right in.
And this is where things get even funnier, because recently we've heard Natasha Cloud go on about how physicality and toughness are going to be Clark's downfall in the WNBA. The idea was that she'd get bullied, shut down, exposed. And yet, here we are. Clark, instead of curling up in a ball and fearing the big bad defenders, is literally training with one of the best. Let that sink in, not complaining. Not making excuses, not posting cryptic messages about respect, just getting better. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the league, there's a lot of talking. Some people would rather drop passive-aggressive jabs than jump into a gym, but hey, who needs footwork drills when you've got an all-star X-post fingers workout? Conditioning? Nah. Just hit up a podcast and drop some spicy quotes. That should keep you in elite shape, right?
It almost felt like marketers were trying to figure out, like, yeah, we have all of these amazing players and these amazing personalities, but can we push the demographic? And then when Caitlin Clark got to the league, the Angel Reeses got to the league, and they might have been fouled hard. The same thing I saw happen with Shamika Holdsclaw, though.
You see my tooth knocked out?
Yeah,
Rookie season, Jewel Lloyd. My tooth knocked out. I still didn't get it.
So how do you...
Craziness that came with the new fandom was rooted in something other than fandom, right? And I think that's very evident to see across the board. In a lot of ways, it has not been about basketball. Like, we can talk about, you know, people getting fouled. I just showed you my tooth getting knocked out. Like, that's been a part of the game. The game has always been physical. I can tell you the amount of times I've left with bloody lips and eyes. I've bruises all over my body, even from the game last night. You can see bruises on my elbow from last night. Like, it's just a part of the game. So there was no targeting, there was no nothing. That narrative that got spun into, oh, the vets hate the rookies hate the vets are going after certain players. It's all bullshit. Like, if I'm just gonna be frank, like, it's all bullshit. What it is racism, right? It gets blown up into, oh, they're going after Caitlin Clark.
The hype surrounding Caitlin Clark isn't just talk, it's tangible, measurable, and undeniable. The first matchup between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky was originally scheduled for Wintrust Arena, a respectable but modest venue that has been home to the Sky for years. But as ticket demand skyrocketed to unprecedented levels, the game had to be moved to the United Center, a much bigger, much grander stage that typically hosts the Chicago Bulls. And let's be very clear, this wasn't some league-wide initiative to grow the game. It wasn't a pre-planned marketing strategy by the WNBA to capitalize on a new wave of fans. It was one thing and one thing only, the Caitlin Clark effect.
I mean, yeah, I think I saw the ticket prices. I guess the only thing is, like, I'm surprised we're not playing at the United Center. I thought that would have been really good for the game and really good for all the women's basketball fans in Chicago. So maybe there's a conflict of some sort that I don't know about. Obviously, that's a little above my pay grade.
And for the first time in history, WNBA games will be played in the United Center. The Chicago Sky will host the Indiana Fever at the UC on Saturday, June 7th, and on Sunday, July 27th. The highly anticipated games will feature Fever star Caitlin Clark against the Sky's very own Angel Reese. The largest attendance at a Sky game ever happened in 2016 at Allstate Arena with more than 16,000 fans, while the United Center can fit more than 20,000, so more fans can get in on the action.
Caitlin Clark is just in her second WNBA year, and she's already forcing arenas to upgrade just to accommodate the sheer volume of people clamoring to see her in action. This isn't just a rookie making a debut. This is a full-blown cultural event. We're talking about thousands of fans, scalpers inflating ticket prices, and an entire city buzzing with anticipation for the Fever versus Sky showdown. Why? Because Caitlin Clark isn't just another promising player. She's a phenomenon. Her presence alone is moving the needle for women's basketball in ways that few, if any, have done before. Think about it. When was the last time the WNBA had to physically change a venue due to demand for a single player? Not a team, not a playoff game, just one player. Clark hasn't played long professionally, yet her star power is already reshaping the league's landscape. That right there is what generational impact looks like.
One of the hottest tickets in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark coming back to the city that she owns, coming back to Chicago after Chicago gave her such a warm welcome last year. They threw Barbie night for Caitlin Clark's arrival. They gave her pink towels. The fans were lined up on the side. She was signing autographs. How is Chicago going to welcome Caitlin Clark this next year around? How are they going to top Barbie night in a 9,000 seat arena? Well, easy. We move Barbie night to a 21,000 seat arena. Venue and date change. Our regular season games against the Chicago Sky are moving to the United Center.
And let's not forget the added drama here, Clark's 2025 season first game against Angel Reese loudmouth rival. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark's college battles were must-watch TV, but now that rivalry has entered the professional stage. Whether these two are personally feuding or not, the media and fans have latched onto the storyline with a vice grip. The idea of seeing Clark and Reese square off in the WNBA only adds fuel to the fire. The United Center isn't just hosting a basketball game, it's hosting the next chapter in what could become one of the league's defining rivalries. The magnitude of this moment extends beyond the Fever and the Sky. It speaks to a larger shift in women's basketball, one where a single player can drive massive ticket sales, dominate sports conversations, and command attention in ways previously reserved for NBA superstars. It's proof that Caitlin Clark isn't just a great player, she's a movement. So when the Fever and Sky tip off in front of a packed United Center, it won't just be the start of a new WNBA season. It'll be a statement that Caitlin Clark has arrived, that her impact is undeniable, and that the league will never be the same again.
But this game being in the United Center, if you guys did not see, tickets sold out. and tickets sold out in 5 minutes. They sold out in 5 minutes. United Center sold out in a minute. Sorry, not in a minute, 5 minutes. A minute. It was a fight even trying to get tickets. Seats kept disappearing. They started at $200. Back in 2007, you get season tickets for that price. You can go get season tickets probably a year ago for that price in some teams.
And you just know this is eating some folks alive. Because for all the trash talk, all the gestures, all the I'm her moments that Angel Reese has gifted the basketball world, none of it, not a single second of it, translated into a venue needing an upgrade. Not once. She talked big, she backed it up, she won a national championship, and yet, the WNBA still hummed along at its usual pace. The arenas stayed the same size. The ticket prices didn't spike overnight. The demand? Respectable, but nothing earth-shattering. But the moment Caitlin Clark is set to step on the court, boom, ticket sales through the roof, resellers rubbing their hands together like cartoon villains, counting the extra zeros in their profits. WNBA executives? Oh, they're probably throwing a mini parade in their offices, popping sparkling cider, and high-fiving each other because they know what this means for the league's bottom line. And let's not forget the networks, practically foaming at the mouth, scrambling to slap Clark's face on every promo, every commercial, every social media post, hyping up the so-called rivalry for maximum engagement.
I'm not going to say all teams on that one because there were some teams that made decent money, but they're there to watch. It's going to be all Fever fans again, by the way. Now, people do not realize, like, there are some Chicago Sky fans. There really are. But as you guys can tell, not every Chicago Sky game will sell out this year, even in their 10,000 seater stadium. Most won't sell out, and the Fever are going to sell out every single game immediately.
And the best part? Caitlin Clark doesn't even have to say a word. She doesn't need to trash talk, flex on opponents, or declare herself that girl. She lets her game speak for itself. The numbers are undeniable. The headlines write themselves. The ticket sales and record-breaking viewership prove what some people refuse to admit. She is the draw. It's an uncomfortable truth for some, but it's reality. Whether you love her, hate her, or fall somewhere in between, there's no escaping the fact that Caitlin Clark is the biggest attraction the WNBA has seen in years, maybe ever. She's not just breaking records, she's redefining expectations. Every game she plays turns into an event. Fans are scrambling to get a glimpse of her in action. Arenas that once struggled to fill seats are now packed to the rafters. Merchandise with her name on it flies off the shelves. For years, people have debated how to elevate women's basketball to the next level. Clark may have just provided the answer, be so undeniable that they have no choice but to watch. Her presence is already shifting the landscape in ways few, if any, players before her have. She's proving that a single player can change everything. The WNBA has never seen this level of hysteria surrounding one athlete, and it's only the beginning. Whether her critics like it or not, Clark isn't just playing in the league, she's reshaping it.
The Indiana Fever have become the franchise of all women's sports. We have never seen anything like this. And something that I actually saw, a graphic that I saw on Twitter today, was so interesting. It said the Jordan effect versus the Caitlin Clark effect through the first 33 games. So when Jordan entered the league, the average attendance per year prior to him was 8,021 people. And then during his rookie year, that went up 60.3%, with the average being 12,855. And now if you look at the Caitlin Clark effect and what she has done for the WNBA and for the Indiana Fever, before Caitlin Clark went to the WNBA, the average attendance was 6,109. And then during her rookie year, the average attendance was 15,746, which is a 157.7% increase.
But it's not really a rivalry, is it? Rivalries demand competition, an actual back and forth where both sides bring something to the table. But so far, we've only seen one side consistently improving, while the other side has turned whining into a full-time job. It's almost comical to watch Angel Reese insist that they're totally unfazed, completely unbothered, and absolutely unaffected by Caitlin Clark. Yet somehow, her name keeps finding its way into every conversation they have. Funny how that works. Meanwhile, while they're busy ranting and setting the record straight, Clark is out here setting actual records, shooting records, attendance records, viewership records. Oh, and now gym hours records too, because while some people are spending all their energy talking about her, she's spending hers in the gym making sure they have even more to talk about. At some point, you'd think they'd realize that the best way to prove Clark isn't all that is to actually, play better. But nope. They'd rather focus on delivering monologues about how much they don't care while Clark keeps putting up numbers that show she's the one who actually matters. If this were a competition, one side already lapped the other.
And here's some of the footage that the Fever did indeed share of Caitlin Clark and of Brianna Turner in the lab. And without further ado, here we go. As you can see, Keith Porter's been busy. Training staff been busy. Clark cross the body, pass down the lane. Little curl shot. Just give you a little slow-mo action there. But nice, easy catch and finish. Skip pass. Clark spots up and shoot. Little floater. Caitlin working on the handles. Pull up. Here's the fake out and the go. There's that screen I'm talking about. I mean, there's nobody there, but you understand what those actions represent.
And let's be real here. If a player truly believed they were superior, they wouldn't be this obsessed. They wouldn't be checking their mentions, liking subliminal X-post, or jumping into interviews to clear the air every 5 minutes. They'd be in the gym, maybe even working on, free throws, post moves, a jump shot that doesn't look like it was assembled in a hurry, just some food for thought. But instead, here we are, with one side clocking in overtime at the offended by Caitlin Clark factory, and the other side, the actually successful one, grinding with an elite defender to sharpen every single area of her game. This is why Clark is a problem. She doesn't respond to nonsense. She doesn't take the bait. She just works and works and works. And while some are still reliving that one game from a year ago like it was their championship moment, Clark is preparing for an actual championship run. She's not just here to compete, she's here to own the league. And let's be honest, the WNBA hasn't seen anything like her before. Sure, there have been stars, but this level of impact? Unprecedented. So what happens next? Well, Clark and Turner keep training, the Indiana Fever get better, and the hater energy camp continues looking for new things to be upset about. Maybe next week it'll be her sneakers, or the way she ties her shoelaces, or the fact that she breathes too confidently. The possibilities are endless. But one thing is for certain, Clark isn't slowing down, and when she finally steps onto that court next season, it's going to be a very, very long day for some people.
I say bring everybody back, okay? Unrivaled is over. Get on home. When is the overseas stuff done? If it's not done already, let's go so we can see more of this with not just Caitlin, not just Brianna Turner together, but with the whole team getting together, yes.
And if we're being honest, it won't just be a long day. It's going to be a long season. Because Clark is just getting started, and when she finally unleashes everything she's been working on, there won't be any excuses left. No refs to blame, no underdog narratives to cling to, no disrespect storylines to fall back on. Just one simple reality. Caitlin Clark is better. She's smarter, she's working harder, and she's elevating every single player around her. And that, more than anything, is what separates her from the rest. Meanwhile, certain individuals, will have to come to terms with the fact that theatrics and taunts don't win championships. Fundamentals do. Shooting does. IQ does. And Clark? Well, she's got all three in abundance. So, best of luck to anyone still banking on cheap tricks and over-the-top antics, because this season, Clark is here to make haters pay. And when the season finally kicks off, the receipts are going to be spectacular. We're talking about highlight reels full of broken ankles, defenders lost in space, and scoreboards lighting up like a Christmas tree. And the best part? The excuses will be even funnier. Maybe the court was too slippery. Maybe the air conditioning was too strong. Maybe Clark had the audacity to shoot from 30 feet away again. Whatever the excuse of the week is, one thing remains certain. The Clark era is here, and the league better get used to it.